You told yourself you were over it. You deleted their number, you unfollowed them, you even had a few good days where you didn't think about them at all. And then, out of nowhere, a song came on, or you drove past somewhere you used to go together, or you just woke up one morning and it hit you all over again like it was day one. And you thought, what is wrong with me? Why can't I just move on? Here's what I need you to hear before anything else. There is nothing wrong with you. Moving on from someone who meant something to you is one of the hardest things a human being can do. And if nobody has validated that for you yet, I'm doing it right now. But I also want to give you something more than validation today. I want to give you answers, real ones, because understanding why moving on feels impossible is the first step to actually doing it. Stay with me. Welcome back. And if you're new here, this is a space for honest, real conversations about love, healing, and the patterns that keep us stuck. I'm glad you're here today. This one is going to go deep, so get comfortable. Let's talk about why moving on is so much harder than everyone makes it sound. The first thing you need to understand is that struggling to move on is not a character flaw. It is biology. When you fall in love with someone, your brain releases a cocktail of chemicals: dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin. These are the same chemicals involved in addiction, literally the same neurological pathways. So when that relationship ends, your brain doesn't just experience emotional loss, it experiences withdrawal, the same way a person withdraws from a substance they've become dependent on. This is why you check their social media at 2 a.m. even though you know it will hurt you. This is why you replay conversations, looking for the moment things went wrong. This is why you reach for your phone to tell them something funny before remembering they're no longer yours to tell. Your brain is not being irrational. It is chasing a chemical it was trained to need. Knowing this doesn't make the pain disappear, but it does mean you can stop blaming yourself for feeling it. You are not weak. You are human, and your brain is doing exactly what it was wired to do. The second reason moving on feels impossible: you are waiting for closure, and that wait is keeping you frozen. We have been sold this idea that closure is something another person gives us, that if they would just explain themselves, apologize properly, or finally admit what they did, then we could move on. But here is the truth that nobody wants to hear. Closure is not a conversation. Closure is a decision. Most people who hurt you will never fully own what they did. They will give you half explanations, deflections, or silence. And if you are waiting for them to say the exact right thing before you allow yourself to heal, you are giving them permanent control over your timeline. The closure you are looking for has to come from you. It comes the moment you decide that you have enough information, that what happened was real, that it hurt you, and that you deserve to move forward regardless of whether they ever acknowledge it. You don't need their apology to begin healing. You need your own permission. Third, and this is one most people don't want to hear, staying busy is not healing, it is postponing. After a breakup, the most common advice people get is stay busy. Go out, hit the gym, focus on work, fill your schedule so you don't have time to think about them. And yes, routine and movement are genuinely helpful, but there is a difference between healthy distraction and using constant activity to avoid ever sitting with your pain. Because grief that is not processed doesn't disappear, it goes underground. It shows up later as anxiety, as anger, as an inability to trust the next person who tries to love you. It shows up as walls you don't remember building. Real healing requires you to actually feel what you are feeling, to sit with the sadness without immediately reaching for your phone, to let yourself grieve what was lost without judging yourself for how long it's taking. The goal is not to stay so busy that you forget. The goal is to process so thoroughly that you remember without being destroyed by it. Fourth, and this one runs deep, part of what makes moving on so hard is that you are not just grieving the person who left, you are grieving the future you had already built in your mind. The holidays you imagined, the inside jokes you thought would last forever, the version of yourself you were becoming with them, the family you pictured, the life that made sense when they were in it. None of that existed yet, but your brain experienced the loss of it as if it did. This is called anticipatory grief, and it is one of the most under-acknowledged forms of heartbreak that exists. You are allowed to mourn the future that didn't happen. You are allowed to miss the potential of what could have been. That loss is real, even if it was never tangible. But at some point, and only you will know when that point is, you have to make a conscious choice to redirect that energy, to start building a new vision, one that belongs entirely to you, one that nobody can take away because it doesn't depend on them being in it. Now, let me give you the thing that actually helps, the mindset shift that changes everything. Stop asking, why can't I move on? And start asking, what is this pain trying to teach me? When you ask, why can't I move on, you position yourself as stuck, as failing at something, as behind schedule on a healing timeline that doesn't even exist. But when you ask, what is this trying to teach me, everything shifts. Maybe the relationship showed you that you have been abandoning yourself to keep others comfortable. Maybe it revealed a pattern that started long before this person ever came into your life. Maybe it exposed a belief you carry, that you are not quite enough, or that love always comes with conditions, that has been quietly running your choices for years. The pain is not punishment, it is information. And the people who heal the fastest are not the ones who feel the least. They are the ones who are willing to look honestly at what the experience is showing them about themselves and do the work to change it. That is not a one-time decision, it is a daily practice, but it is the only path to a healing that actually lasts. So let me leave you with what actually helps, not the generic advice, the real stuff. First, feel it on a schedule if you have to. If you are someone who suppresses emotion, give yourself a specific time each day, 15 to 20 minutes, where you allow yourself to fully feel the grief. Cry, journal, sit with it, then close it and continue your day. This sounds clinical, but it works. It prevents grief from leaking into every hour uncontrolled. Second, remove the triggers you can control. You don't have to be a martyr. Unfollow them. Remove the photos from your home screen. Put the gifts away. You are not erasing them. You are protecting your nervous system while it heals. There is nothing weak about that. Third, tell your story out loud, to a therapist, a trusted friend, or even a journal. The act of narrating your experience helps your brain process and file it, rather than leaving it as an open wound. This is literally how trauma processing works. Fourth, invest in your future self aggressively, not as distraction, but as intention. Learn something new, build something, go somewhere you've never been. Every investment in who you are becoming is a withdrawal from the hold they have on you.
And fifth, be patient with yourself, in a way you would be patient with someone you love. You would never tell your best friend that she is taking too long to heal. Speak to yourself with that same grace. Moving on doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean pretending it didn't matter. It doesn't mean you have to be okay with what happened. It means you make the decision, slowly, imperfectly, some days more than others, that your future matters more than your past. It means you stop letting someone who is no longer in your life determine the quality of the life you are still living. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are in the middle of something that is changing you in ways you cannot fully see yet. Keep going. If this video helped you today, please share it with someone who is struggling to move on right now. Leave a comment telling me where you are in your healing journey. I read every single one, and I want to hear from you. And tomorrow, I have something coming that I think you really need to see. Make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss it. Take care of yourself. I'll see you tomorrow.